Today we're going to be going over the communication of the tablet, some places that you might be able to reinitialize your communication, which means to just reinstate or to get it connected again. So a couple things that we're going to go over first. I already have my tablet booted up and the system is already communicating. A couple ways I know that is over here on the right hand side there's a TX, T as in Tom, and an RX, R as in Randy. These lights that you see right here in the corner, those lights are telling me that I'm transmitting and receiving. Those lights will only blink when you are actually transmitting and actually receiving. Right now there's nothing transmitting on the screen, but watch if I press the button right here on the screen, changing those modes. Changing those modes actually cause those lights to blink in the upper right corner. That's because the system is actively communicating with the back, saying what's going on, and then it responds, this is what's currently going on. Now note, on newer software, those lights may be gone, so there's a couple other ways that we can determine are we or are we not communicating. If we come over to our lights, naturally if our lights can be turned on, that's a dead giveaway that we can communicate because the lights need to just send the information to turn on the lights, and then it receives the information back. The lights got turned on. Another way we can confirm that we're communicating is going to the file folder and coming down here to diagnostics. Under diagnostics, if I turn on any of these settings, let's just say for example top and bottom encoder, if that turns green and I'm able to move it and the system currently changes, that's doing a two-way communication as well. The display is asking the system on the back, what is your value? And the system on the back is replying, this is my current value. Another way that we can confirm communication. So let's say, for example, when I booted up my system was not communicating. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to unplug this cable. Actually, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to power the system off on the back, and we're going to simulate the system not communicating. Okay, so the system has been powered off. With the system powered off, I'm going to open the program right here. With the program open, in just a second, it's going to come up with a your system is unable to communicate message. This is happening because my machine is powered off, but my display is currently powered on. So what I can do is with this screen currently on, I can come back to my machine, I can flip the switch on. So I flip the switch on, and I can press the OK key. Now this will require me to kill the program and reopen the program. So I want you to pay attention to this piece. In the lower left corner, my home icon. Now on some of the systems this might be just a circle. It's important to note that either it's home or a circle. It is the second icon over to the right. So right there, okay? I'm going to press the home icon, then I'm going to press the square or the double square icon just to the right of the home icon. You can see that Perfect Stitch is one of my current running programs. I'm holding down on it and I'm swiping my finger to the right or to the left. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe it away to the right, and it's going to let it go. So now when I open that square, I only have one program running that I'm currently using right now. Perfect Stitch is not one of those. Now what I can do is I can just press anywhere on the screen. That menu goes away. You can see that again. I open the menu, press anywhere on the screen, that menu disappears. I can now press the Perfect Stitch icon, which is right there at the, this is my desktop, right there at the desktop. Once that opens, you can see that it did not give me that communication message, and you can see my lights in the upper right corner are both gray. I'm going to simulate something different. I'm going to go in again, I'm going to kill the program. I'm going to unplug my cable from the top. Unplugging my communication cable. This is a USB cable. It's a micro USB. I'm unplugging my USB cable, and I'm just going to let it sit there. I'm going to reopen my program. When that opens, it's going to give me your system's unable to communicate. I'm going to press OK before I even plug anything in. It's going to sit here for a second. It's trying to communicate. Now you can see in the upper right corner my TX and my RX. My TX every once in a while blinks red. My RX is constant red. What that means is transmit, TX, is trying to transmit, but it can't. It's not getting any signal from the system in the back. And then receive is naturally that signal coming back. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to reconnect my cable into the top, make sure it seats nice and well. Now you can see that because the system was trying to consistently communicate, you can see that now both my colors turn gray, and the system is now linked to communication. Sometimes I can simply plug the cable in. Sometimes it requires me to go to the home, go to the square, swipe the program away, and then reopen my Perfect Stitch program from scratch. I'm going to show you two other things on the system as well. So here at the back of the machine, there are two lights on our system. Here at the back of the machine, there is a light at the bottom and a light at the top. These are both important lights. The light at the bottom means that I am currently getting power from my tablet. The light at the top means I am currently getting power from my machine. So that connection coming in, if the power is on, that light will light up. This connection right here is actually these wires run down to this area, and that light turns on. If both of those lights are not on, don't worry about moving any farther. Those two lights have to be on for the system to work and to communicate properly. Now back at the system, we're able to come into our system info, and when I come up to my system info, I'm able to see my display version as well as all the other versions that are inside there. You can notice in the upper right corner, my lights are currently gray, which is how I want them to be on these screens, but if I'm currently on a screen that is actively communicating, for example, I turn on my encoders, it turns green, saying that I received information and I was told to do something. My lights in the upper right corner blink as well, all saying the system is communicating. This goes over the communication aspect. The simplest things to remember is as long as my two lights on the back of my hub are on, the top light PWR1, the bottom light PWR2, as long as those two are on, the two simple things is the home icon, the square, swipe your program away, and then reopen. That is the easiest piece to reinitialize communication. Piece number two is to unplug your cable. Unplug my cable at the top, make sure it seats nice and well, plug it back in. Those are the two diagnostic pieces for resyncing or getting your system to recommunicate again. Home icon, double square, swipe away, reopen, or unplug the cable, plug back in. You should not have to restart your tablet by holding down the power key, getting the screen to come up, and saying either power off or reboot. That is not required to get your communication reinitialized. The two pieces that I just discussed, the home icon, the double square, swipe it away, reopen, is easiest step number one. Step number two is to unplug your cable and plug your cable back in, and then run through the exact same process. Home icon, square, swipe, reopen. Take a look at our QuiltEasy website, quilteasy.com, to see any other videos and any other help tips related to the Butler or the Perfect Stitch system.